The subconscious mind. Gold in your cellar. What would you say if I told you that down in the basement of your house sat a box full of gold coins? After you got over the initial shock, you might mention many things, but there is one thing you wouldn't do, and that would be to ignore it. You would immediately go down to the cellar amid all the junk and clutter and retrieve the box and put it to good use. And yet, has it ever occurred to you that most of us live out our entire lives with a box of gold in the basement of our minds that we rarely use? Deep down, below the surface of our thought, lies that powerful component of our mind that we call the subconscious. Our subconscious mind is the storehouse of our memory, the guiding light of our life. It is a source of energy stronger than any electrical current, more powerful than any explosive. Nothing can approach the powerful capability of the subconscious mind. But to be successful, we must make greater use of it. Unfortunately, most of us go through life without ever realizing how to use this wellspring of power. Only a small percentage of people discover the subconscious mind, understand it, and subsequently learn how to guide its hidden powers to achieve complete success in whatever they set out to do. We tend to live like famished paupers, sitting at a bare table in a cold, damp room, not knowing there's food in the cupboard and a warm fire in the hearth. When you know how to use the hidden power of your subconscious mind, you can attain riches beyond your wildest dreams. Your subconscious mind can activate your imagination and inspire you with new thoughts and fresh ideas. You can use this power to gain the financial prosperity that will offer you a new level of freedom to be whatever you want, do whatever you want, and experience your heart's desire. Your subconscious mind can help you locate your true place. It will help you determine what you are best suited to do so you may utilize your innate talents and gifts. Through this power source, you'll be able to find the right position or vocation that will eventually lead you to your labor of love. You can use your subconscious mind to rid yourself of frustration, anger, and resentment. This hidden guide will help you solve your most pressing problems and lead you to make the right decisions. You can also use the power of the subconscious mind to free yourself from fear, anxiety, and worry forever, as well as to deactivate and diffuse failure attitudes and replace them with a more positive outlook. Furthermore, when you use the power of your subconscious mind, you will be able to enjoy abundant and radiant health. Just releasing frustration, worry, and stress will improve your quality of health. You'll bubble over with vitality, energy, and a zest for living. Life will truly become worthwhile. Each day will be meaningful, filled to the brim with the sheer joy of being alive. Your subconscious mind is lying there dormant within you, just waiting to be placed into action. Your subconscious mind is unlimited, infinite, and inexhaustible. It never rests. It keeps working every moment of life. You need only to activate it and put its marvelous power to use. 7 steps to activate your subconscious mind. One of the principles many high achievers use is find a need and fill it. The same principle applies to your subconscious mind. Unless there is a need for it to work, it never will. You must give it a goal to reach, an objective to achieve, before it will go into action. Here is a 7-step procedure that will help activate the power of the subconscious mind. 1. Your subconscious mind operates best in a mental climate of faith and acceptance. Confidently expecting that your problems will be solved, obstacles removed, and your goals achieved is the mental state that intensifies thought and causes the subconscious mind to function at its best. 2. Know exactly what it is you want to accomplish. Be specific about the goal you want to reach, the objective you want to attain. 3. Believe in your heart that your subconscious mind will deliver the answer you want and need. 4. Separate fact from opinion. Do your homework and gather all available facts on the subject. 5. Feed those facts into your subconscious mind with your requests for an answer. 6. Relax. Wait patiently and watch diligently for the answer to your question or the solution to your problem. In due course, it will come. And 7. Take immediate action when your answer arrives. The first 6 steps are critically important, but unless you follow through and take action, all the preceding work will have been wasted. You'll soon discover that if you fail to act, your subconscious mind will reach the conclusion that you are not serious about your requests for help. Scientific breakthroughs, great musical compositions, inspiring books, and all other ideas for original accomplishment are born within the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is the source of all inspiration, all motivation, and the excitement that rushes over you when aroused by a new idea or possibility. It is the source of hunches, intuition, and flashes of brilliance. It is the still small voice within. From this great within comes the power to perform immortal deeds. We are conscious that there is something in us, but not of us, that is never sick, never tired, and that never goes wrong. All principle, truth, love lives in this great within. Here is the home of beauty and justice. Here abides the peace which passeth all understanding. And here shines the light that was never on sea or land. We are conscious of something within that is deathless, something immortal, divine. We all feel this, the living Christ, this silent messenger which accompanies us through life, directing our moves, advising us, warning us, protecting us, no matter where we go, no matter how far we fall. Many feel just as sure of this blessed mothering presence, this messenger of peace and goodwill, as though they could see it with their own eyes. There is something within that tells us we are at one with the power that made all things, and that once we drink at the fountain of the Spirit, we shall never know thirst or want again. No life can be poor when enfolded in the infinite arms and living in the very midst of abundance, the source of all supply. Many great people have stood before this power in awe, calling it different names. The Reverend Calvin Butts, pastor of New York's Abyssinian Baptist Church, calls it the power within our lives. Oprah Winfrey, America's #1 talk show host, labels it the force for good. Napoleon Hill referred to this source as infinite intelligence, calling it the universal storehouse of knowledge. In the great race of life, divine authority has the right of way. There's a higher being in all of us that keeps us balanced, says Ann Fudge, Black America's highest ranking corporate executive. Believe in it. Use it. This is the secret to my success. And Johnny Coleman, founder of Chicago's Christ Universal Temple, simply calls it spirit. It works if you work it, she attests. Each day she implores her congregation to set this power free in their lives. The history of the human race is replete with incidents that bear unmistakable testimony to the validity of spiritual perception. For example, so much of Western civilization was molded and shaped by the whisperings of the still small voice to Saul of Tarsus. Call this power by whatever name you wish, but you cannot deny its existence. Humanity need not look far for the source of this power. It lies in everything the physical senses can perceive, from the smallest grain of sand to the largest star that makes its appointed rounds in the universe. It appears in the balanced forces of energy in the atom. It is the all-pervading medium we call space, and therefore it surrounds us as a notion of potential power, which we may consciously contact and direct to our own worthy ends. There is almost no limit to what you can accomplish when you set it free on a regular basis. You may not be an inventor or compose fine musical arrangements or author unforgettable stories, but you can still use the hidden power of the subconscious to discover new and more efficient ways of doing things in your vocation or personal life. No one possesses a lock on all creativity. This power has been placed at your disposal by divine decree. The only condition that is required is to commence. Give your subconscious mind the reason or the raw material it needs to release its powers and keep it going with a deep-rooted desire for successful accomplishment. When you do, yours will become a mastermind. Tap into it. There is an old story of a boilermaker who was hired to repair a huge malfunctioning steamship boiler system. After listening to the engineer's description of the problems and asking a few questions, he went to the boiler room. He gazed at the maze of twisting pipes, listened to the thump of the boiler and the hiss of escaping steam for a few minutes. Next, he felt the cold pipes with his hands. Then he hummed softly to himself, reached into his overalls, took out a small hammer, and tapped a bright red valve. Immediately, the entire system began working perfectly, and the Boilermaker went home. When the steamship owner received a bill for $2,000, he complained that the Boilermaker had only been in the engine room for 5 minutes and requested an itemized bill. Here's a copy of the Boilermaker's invoice. For tapping with hammer, $1. For knowing where to tap, $1,999. Total, $2,000. Success is a matter of knowing how to use the power of our subconscious minds to transform the quality of our lives. When you use your subconscious mind correctly, knowing where to tap, you will be able to solve any problem, overcome any obstacle, and achieve any goal you sincerely desire. Each of us can tap into the source of all personal greatness and individual achievement by knowing when and where to tap into the source of all creativity. If aroused, This force could carry you to heights of achievement such as you have never imagined. It is a power that has brought forth great leaders in every walk of life and in every generation. Men and women of vision and ideas who have pushed back the frontiers of fear, ignorance, and poverty. The power is clothed in no mystery, and it will perform its miracles for anyone who will work its daily deeds. It is called by a myriad of names, but its nature never changes. It works through but one medium, and that is the mind. It expresses itself in thoughts, ideas, and dreams, and it is as free as the air we breathe and as abundant as the scope of the universe. It is not a newfound philosophy that the world craves, but the utilization of the unerring power from within which moves mountains. Just as a skilled musician can take a hold of a violin and cause that instrument to pour forth the most stirring and moving strains of music, so is there a power that can lay hold of your mind and cause you to go forth into the field of your chosen vocation and play a glorious symphony of success. No one knows the extent of the hidden forces that lie within. Though you cannot gauge your capacity for greatness, this one great truth remains constant. Any desire that you plant deeply in your subconscious will eventually seek expression through the physical world. Where imagination prevails, power may be found. If you want more out of life, be sure to demand more of your imagination. The Chicken and the Eagle. There was an eagle who lost an egg one day, and as fate would have it, the tiny eagle egg was found by a hen. She took the egg home to the chicken coop and sat on it with all the loving patience of an incipient mother. A few weeks later, the egg was hatched, and out stepped a tiny eagle. The tiny bird had an eagle history, eagle genes, eagle chromosomes, eagle power, and eagle potential. But because he was born into a chicken environment, he grew up thinking he was a chicken. He grew up dreaming chicken dreams and thinking chicken thoughts and playing chicken games and entertaining chicken ambitions. In fact, he was even made to feel ashamed of his eagle features. You see, even though he didn't know who he was, the other birds in the barnyard did. They met amongst themselves and said, "We've got to keep this bird thinking that he's a chicken, because if he ever finds out that he's an eagle, he'll rule over us." As a result, the little bird became ashamed of his eagle heritage and eagle features. The other birds made fun of his mighty eagle beak, because they had little, thin, narrow, weak chicken beaks. They also made fun of his mighty eagle talons, because they possessed weak, tiny, scrawny chicken feet. And he became ashamed of the richness of his deep, dark eagle feathers. At one point in his life, he even considered cosmetic surgery. He thought about cutting off half of his eagle beak, and he thought about dyeing his dark eagle feathers so he could look more like the chickens. Ironically, his greatest ambition in life was to one day hop, skip, and jump up on the fence post to cock-a-doodle-doo at daybreak like the rooster. But one day, when this confused bird was playing in the barnyard, he saw the deep dark contours of a mighty shadow swim across the ground. For the first time in his life, this little lost bird looked higher than the fence post, higher than the tree line, and saw the remarkable sight of an adult eagle in full flight, with all of its majesty, grace, and power. The little lost bird was transfixed. He said to himself, "Wow, I sure wish I could be like that." The adult eagle perceived the dilemma of the little lost bird and swooped down from the stratospheric heights and said, "Boy, you ain't no chicken. You're an eagle. Your mighty talons were not meant to rake and scrape on the ground for worms and feed, but to snatch the craggy sides of yonder mountain of achievement." "Boy," he repeated, "you ain't no chicken. You're an eagle. Your eagle eye was not meant to be limited to the narrow confines of the barnyard, but to seek out the distant horizon of your unfulfilled potential. And spread your wings as you catch the lofty winds of your immeasurable genius. You ain't no chicken. You're an eagle." Each of us could benefit from this tale. Success lies with the man or woman who is undisturbed by appearances or circumstances. An individual never reaches heights above his or her habitual thoughts. It is not enough now and then to mount on wings and soar into the infinite. We must habitually dwell there. Greatness rests easily at the pinnacle of the mount of achievement, where others dare to rise. Negative conditions begin to melt once we make statements of truth regarding our potential. A sudden flash of realization propels us into a new environment. In other words, it is of little consequence what has transpired in your past. Neither the universe nor this author cares what you failed to accomplish. It is of small value if you were raised in a chicken home, in the heart of a chicken neighborhood, and associated with chicken friends. It really doesn't matter if, during your childhood, you attended chicken schools and were taught by chicken teachers who shared chicken lessons. I see no reason to worry if you completed your studies and now tout a chicken degree that helped you land a chicken job where you report to a chicken supervisor. Remember, don't think chicken thoughts and don't dream chicken dreams. You're an eagle. Creativity is an ability given to us at birth, and thankfully, it cannot be lost. Creativity only goes into hiding and lies dormant from lack of use. It can be tapped and revitalized upon demand. You need only accept the idea that you still possess what you were given at birth, the inherent wisdom, intelligence, and creativity that constitutes your particular brand of genius. Creative genius is the forging of the new, or rearranging of the old in a novel and exciting way. It represents the actualization of human potential and the creative energy of your subconscious mind. It contains the wisdom of the past, the understanding of the present, and the vision of the future. If you wish to explore your full potential and identify new opportunities for high achievement, you must challenge your creative powers. You must stretch to new limits and explore the possibilities.